What's up, guys? HockeyTikTockey's back with an all-new video. In today's video, I'm going to be creating a brand new fantasy roster for the series, which I've called What's the Best Name in Hockey? If you're brand new to this channel, give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So I'll give you guys a little breakdown of how this works. Basically, I'm creating fantasy rosters where all the players share a common name of some sort. So for example, the first one that I went over was called Team Connor. All of the players were named either Connor, C-O-N-N-O-R, or their last name was Connor, like Kyle Connor, or in the case of Logan O'Connor or Drew O'Connor, they at least had Connor in their name, so their nickname could still be Connor. For that example. So yeah, the name game is basically, could we create an entire lineup, an entire hockey team where all the guys have the exact same name and or nickname. So I'll go over the other rosters that have already been created first, and then we're gonna have a brand new roster unveiled at the end of this with a brand new team to join the name game. So I'll start with Connors again, as I usually do, because that was what kicked off the series. We have Connor McDavid with Kyle Connor and Connor Zary as line 1. Line 2 is Connor Bedard, Connor Sherry, and Connor Garland. Line 3 is Connor Dewar, Drew O'Connor and Logan O'Connor playing together. And then line 4, we have Connor McMichael with Connor Geeky and Connor Brown playing on the forward lines. Defense, we've gone with Connor Clifton, Connor Murphy, Connor Mackey, and Connor Timmins with Connor Carrick and Connor Corcoran. In goal, Team Connor has Connor Hellebuck and Connor Ingram as their net minders. So that's Team Connor. Next, we have Team John. So these are the Johns, the Jonathans, the Johnnies, the Johnsons of the world. So these guys are either named John, Johnny, Jonas, Jonathan, or their last name is Johnson or something like that. So on line 1, we have Jonathan Huberdeau with John Tanner Miller and Jonathan Marchessault. On line 2, we have Wyatt Johnston with John Tavares and Kent Johnson. On line 3, we have Jonathan Drouin with John Beecher and John Jason Paterka. And then line 4 is Tyler Johnson centering Jonathan Bergen and Johnny Berdinsky. On defense, we went with Jonas Brodin and John Carlson, Jack Johnson, Eric Johnson, and John Murrill and John Marino. In goal, we have John Gibson or John Quick as the options for their goalies. Team Alex. So these are Alex's, Alexis, Alex, or Alexander's. They have to be Alex is their name. So we've got Alex DeBrincat on a line with Alex Barkov and Alex Ovechkin, Alexi Lafreniere and Alexander Wenberg and Alex Tuck, Alex Killorn, Alex Kerfoot, and Alexi Laferriere on line 3. 4 is Alex Iafallo, Alex Newhook, and Alex Holtz. On defense, we have Alec Martinez, Alex Petrangelo, and Alexander Romanov with Alexandra Carrier. Alex Vlasic and Alex Alexiev as line defensive lines. In goal, we have the choice of Alex Lyon, Alexander Georgiev, or Alex Nedeljkovic. That's Team's Alex. Matthew is the next team that we're doing. So this team is Matthews, Matts, Matthias's, Matveys, anybody with the name Matt or Matty or Matthew or Matt, they have to have Matt in their name. So line 1, very strong, is Matthew Tkachuk with Austin Matthews and Matt Duchene. Matt Zuccarello, Matt Barzal, and Matt Boldy are on line 2. Matthew Nyes, Matty Berniers, and Matvey Michkov are 3. Matthias Maselli, Matt Potras, and Matt Coronado round out line 4. On defense, we went with Matthias Ekholm with Matt Dunba, Matt Grislick with Matt Raw, Matthias Samuelson, and Matt Benning as line defensive lines. Goalies, we have Matt Murray, and we also have Matt Murray. So there's 2 different Matt Murrays as their goalies. Team Nick, this is Nicholas's, Nicky's, and Nico's. Anybody with the name Nick can be on Team Nick. We've got Nikolai Ehlers playing with Nico Hischier and Nikita Kucherov. Nick Bukestad with Nick Suzuki and Nick Schmaltz. Nick Paul, Nico Sturm, and Nicholas Raw. Nick Cousins, Nick Dowd, and Nick Foligno. On defense, we have Nico Mikkola with Nicholas Hag, Nikita Zadorov with Nick Jensen, Nick Leddy with Nick Pribrix. And then in goal, the best option we have is Nico Dawes. Then we came up with Team Mikey. So these are Michaels, Mikhails, Mikes, and anybody with Mike in their name could be on Team Michael. So Michael Bunting will be on a line with Mika. Oh yeah, Mikas are also Mikes in this one. Mikas and Mikos are also Mikes. So Mika Zabinajad and Mikko Rantanen and Michael Bunting are line 1. Line 2, we have Michael Asiamont with Michael Backlund and Michael Amedio. Michael Rasmussen is with Mikhail Granlund and Ilya Mikheyev. And then line 4 is Michael Carcone with Michael McCarron and Michael Pizzata. On defense, we have Mike Matheson with Mikhail Sergachev, Mikey Anderson with Michael Kesselring, Mikhail Guliev and Mike Wiley are the 3rd pair defensemen. And then in goal was very tough to find a goalie named Mike in this league in this day and age. So we went with Mikko Koskinen, who is no longer in NHL, but if you guys look him up, he used to play for Edmonton a few years ago. There's also a guy named Michael Hutchinson, who I think is also retired, who could be their backup or something like that. Then we also have a team called Team Andy. So these are guys named Andre, Andrew, and they have to have "and" in their name. A-N-D is kind of the prerequisite to play on Team Andy. So it's a mixture of Anders and Andrews and Andres and Andres and anybody with "and" in their name. So we've got Andrei Kuzmenko on a line with Andreas Athanasiou and Andrei Svechnikov. Andrei Burakovsky with Andrew Kopp and Andrew Mangiapane. Anders Lee with Andrew Cogliano and Josh Anderson. Then we have Anders Bjork with Jarrett Anderson Dolan and Joey Anderson. On defense, we went with Mikey Anderson, who also plays for Team Mike, so he's on 2 teams now, Mikey Anderson is, with Rasmus Anderson. And then this one we cheated a little because we went with K. Andre Miller with Andrew Peak. And then to round out D, we have Andreas England with Andre Sekura. In goal, Andre Vasilevsky and Frederick Anderson. Then, finally, we get to Team Mark. So these guys are named Mark, Marcus, or Marco, or Mark Andre, something like that. So we've got Marcus Johansson with Mark Scheifele and Mark Stone. We've got Marcus Foligno with Marco Rossi and Mark Jankowski. Marco Casper is with Mark Kastelik and Mark Johnstone. Mark Delgazo, Mark McLaughlin, and Mark Sorensen are on line 4. And then on the defense, we have Marcus Peterson, Marcus Bjork, and then we have Mark Stahl and Marco Scandella with Mark Edward Vlasic and Mark Giordano as the 3rd pair. For goal, we have Jacob Markstrom, and Marc-Andre Fleury as the goaltenders for Team Markey. So that is all of our previous rosters, and here is our brand new roster that we're unveiling today. This team is called Team Tim Tom. So this one I attempted originally was going to be a team called Team Tommy. These would be guys where their name is either Tom, Thomas, last name Thompson, something like that. They had to have either T-O-M or T-O-H-M, I guess, or no, T-H-O-M. Basically, they had to have Tommy as their nickname, was originally going to be the plan for the Team Tom. But I couldn't round out an entire roster of Tommies. So I made the decision to add in Timmys as well. Because, I think just for the fun of it, just to make it competitive, just to have this lineup of players stack up against the other teams that I've already created, I needed to combine two names. So these guys can either be named Tim or Tom. It's Team Tim Tom. So without further ado, this is the lineup for Team Tim Tom. We've got Timo Meier on a line with Tage Thompson and Tom Wilson. So Meier, Thompson, and Wilson are the top line. All very strong players in their own right. I think Thompson with Tom Wilson would be really strong as very big power forward type guys, and then Timo Meier provides that skill to kind of really push back on the opposition and can add a huge amount of scoring touch. All these guys can put up points too, so that's a strong line one for Tim Tom. Then on line two we have Tim Stützle with Thomas Hertl and Robert Thomas. So again, this could be a line one. Like honestly, you could flip flop line one and line two on Team Tim Tom, and I think they have equal skill and equal tenacity as well. Like they're both super strong lines. They could be strong two-way forwards, all these guys, and they all can put up points too. So if you had to compare Team Tim Tom to any of these other teams that we've already went over, I think they would do quite well with these two top lines of Meier, Thompson, and Wilson, and then having Tim Stützle on a second line with Hertl and Robert Thomas would be really, really strong guys as a second line. So those are the top two forward lines for Team that's a tongue twister. Team Tim Tom. Say that 10 times real fast. Team Tim Tom. Anyways, Thomas Tatar and Tommy Novak are on line two, and then we have Timothy Oshie as line three. And I'm just joking, guys. I don't think his name is Timothy. I'm actually gonna look that up. What is TJ Oshie's real name? Timothy Leaf. So his name is Timothy, but I don't know where they got the J from. But either way, that's why we got TJ Oshie on a line three with Thomas Tatar and Tommy Novak. On line four, we've got Thomas Bordeleau, Philip Tomasino, so his last name is Tomasino, and then Thomas Nosek as line four. So those are the forwards, that's the forward groups. They look pretty strong. Almost all these players are established in their own right for the most part, and pretty balanced as well. Like they may not have any like true like upper echelon elite superstars, although you could make the argument for a couple of these guys like Stützle and Thompson and maybe Meier or Hertl as being those types of guys, I guess. But they don't really have a depth problem. Most of their players are strong right from the top to the bottom. So that's Team Tim Tom's forwards. As for the defense, we have top pairing of Thomas Chabot with Thomas Harley. So those are really strong defensemen to start things off as a first pairing D. And then our second pair is Timothy Liljegren as the second pair D, and Connor Timmins is going to be as well as that second pair. So that's Timothy Liljegren and Timmins as the second pair. And then our final pair, we had to dig a little deep here to find a couple of players. We've got Akil Thomas. I think he's Los Angeles King right now. And Lassie Thompson. Not too much. I don't know too much about Lassie Thompson, but we got him on line 3 for the D here, or pairing 3 for D. And then finally we move on to the goaltenders for goalies. So there's a couple of options here. Logan Thompson is obviously going to be the starter. He's won a Stanley Cup with Vegas before. I think he was the backup at the time though, but either way, he now plays for Washington Capitals and is their starter as far as I know, I think. But yeah, he's going to be the goalie. And then his backup is a guy named Thomas Milik, who I looked up. I found this guy is apparently a goaltender too. So that's Team Tim Tom. And yeah, that's the entire roster right there, guys. If you want to check out some of the other rosters that I've created individually, you can check out the video series. But this one's kind of a recap of all the teams. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day there.